Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ananda Putri Amalia and my student number is 22142273. In this video, I will tell you about a novel, The Woman at Point Zero. And the first one, I will tell you about the plot of the novel. It begins with a psychiatrist in Egypt who visits a prison in Egypt, and she is attracted with a female prisoner named Firdaus. Firdaus, who is waiting of her execution for murdering a man. At first, Firdaus refused to speak to the psychiatrist, but later she speaks to the psychiatrist. Firdaus begins by recounting her childhood. She tells the psychiatrist about her childhood that she gained abuse and poverty, neglect, and after her parents die, she is taken in by her uncle who molds her under the guise of care. She is then married off to Sheikh Mahmud, an older man who beats her. Eventually, Firdaus runs away and ends up working in a low-level job at an office. There, she faces harassment and discovers that even education and a respectable career do not protect her from exploitation. Disillusioned, she meets Sharifa. Her name is Sharifa Salah Eldin, a wealthy madam who introduced her to prostitution, where Firdaus finds a degree of financial and personal control. Firdaus eventually leaves Sharifa to become an independent prostitute, earning respect and choosing her clients. But when she refuses to be controlled by a pimp named Marzouk, he threatens her. In an act of final defiance, she kills him. Rather than deny her crime or plead for mercy, Firdaus chose to face execution. She sees death as her final and only act of true freedom and power. The psychiatrist who listened to her story is deeply affected, realizing the injustice of a world that punishes women like Firdaus for seeking dignity. The novel ends with Firdaus at peace, unafraid of death, and unbroken by the society that tried to destroy her. And I will tell you about the characters of this novel. The first one is Firdaus, the protagonist of the novel, a woman who endures abuse, exploitation, and oppression throughout her life. She becomes a prostitute by choices, eventually kills her pimp, and awaits execution in prison. Her life story is a powerful symbol of resistance against patriarchal violence. And the female psychiatrist are the first point of view. Her name is never revealed in the novel. She is the psychiatrist who visits Firdaus in prison and records her life story. Through Firdaus, she undergoes a deep transformation in her understanding of power, freedom, and gender. And the third one is Firdaus' uncle or Firdaus' family. He plays a key role early in Firdaus' life. He sexually abused her while pretending to care for her after her parents died. He represents the beginning of male dominance and betrayal in her life. And next, there is Sheikh Mahmud, Firdaus' first husband, an old man who beats her and treats her like property. He used religion to justify his abuse. He is a key figure showing domestic violence and religious hypocrisy. And the fifth, there is Sharifa Salah Eldin, a high-class madam who introduced Firdaus to prostitution. Although she gives Firdaus a glimpse of power, she ultimately exploits her for profit. She represents how some women support oppressive system. And the sixth, Bayumi. He initially offers Firdaus shelters. Later, he imprisons and rapes her repeatedly. His betrayal reinforced the theme of male exploitation and violence. And there is Marzouk, or the pimp Firdaus later encounters, who tries to control her after she becomes an independent prostitute. He is the man Firdaus kills, leading to her imprisonment. He represents the ultimate form of male control and abuse. And in this novel, I connect to modern feminism. And Women at Point Zero powerfully connect with modern feminism because it highlights the way patriarchal system limits women's freedom even when they try to play by the rules. Firdaus' story is a personal rebellion, but it speaks to a larger collective feminist struggle that still continues still today. Modern feminism, especially moderate or liberal feminism, advocates for equal access to education, economic opportunity, and legal protection. Firdaus tries to pursue this goal. She studies hard, tries to work in an office, seeks dignity in her labor, and wants to be respected as a human being. But every system she enters, family, marriage, schools, the workplace, fails her. This aligns with feminist critics that inequality is not just personal but structural. Victor's decision to become a prostitute is often misunderstood in a feminist reading. This is not a sign of moral failure, but it's an act of reclaiming agency over her own body. Modern feminism also defines bodily autonomy and the right to make choices, even those that challenge traditional morality. Even today, many women around the world still face violence, economic dependence, and the pressure to stay silent. Firdaus' refusal to beg for mercy and her final act of speaking truth represent that feminism today still values the power of female voice, resistance, and dignity. And in short, Firdaus' story might be set in 20th century Egypt, but its message is timeless. When society denies women justice, feminism becomes not just a theory, but a survival strategy. And from this novel, I got one of the strongest moral values from Woman at Point Zero is the importance of self-worth. Throughout her life, Firdaus is told she is worthless by her family, by mind, and by society. But in the end, she reclaims her identity and power. Her decision to speak her truth, even when facing death, shows me that knowing your own value is more powerful than seeking approval from others. And another value is the courage to resist injustice, no matter the cost. Firdaus goes through physical and emotional abuse, but she keeps trying to change her life, even when the world gives her no safe path. She still finds her own way. Her final act, that is choosing death over submission, shock us, but also remind us that real freedom comes from refusing to be controlled. I also learned about the danger of silence and complicity. Many people in Firdaus' life see her suffering, but they stay silent or look away. This made me reflect on how important it is to stand up for others, not just ourselves. Feminism isn't just about individual freedom, it's about collective responsibility. And finally, I take from this novel value of voice, how telling your story can be an act of resistance. Firdaus chose to speak honestly without fear, and that alone changed the life of the psychiatrist and mine as a reader.